In the previous tutorial we talked about setting up your artboard and about the importance of the M size, depending on what type of font you want to generate. In this tutorial we're going to start talking about creating grids which will help you design your glyphs. Here's where we rely on M, since measurements in typography are represented as proportions of it, as decimals, fractions or percentage. This is very important for consistency or for refining your designs, but also if you want to make your font available in different formats, scaling will become much easier. With that in mind, first you want to set your cap height. Cap height is basically the height of the uppercase letters above the baseline. The baseline being the line on which your letters sit, the same way in which you would place your letters when writing in a lined notebook. Having said that, there are uppercase letters that extend over those lines to compensate for optical illusions, so usually letters with a flat top and bottom, like I or H, give you a more precise measurement of the cap height. As an average, most fonts have a cap height of 60% of the M. So for an M that has 1000 points, the cap height would be 600 points. Based on this example, we're going to start creating a grid in Illustrator. So using the artboard from the previous tutorial, I'm simply going to create a rectangle with a height of 600 points and a width equal to that of the artboard. Remove the fill color and just center it for now. To do that, align it to the artboard and center vertical and horizontal. Next is the X height. X height is exactly what the name entails, the height of the lowercase letter x above the baseline. The line to the top to which X height extends is known as the midline. X height would represent the height of the lowercase, but because some letters extend past these lines, for example P and P, and also you have optical illusions, that is why X is used as a reference. An average X height for most fonts is 45% of the M, so again for an M that has 1000 points, the X height would be 450 points. This is where you will start noticing the relation between proportions and how they will affect your font. Choosing to go with a larger X height in comparison to the cap height will lead to a font with a more elegant design. In the same time, the text is going to be read more clearly when the font is small, compared to having a smaller X height. But a smaller X height will give the font a more economical feel, and you might want to consider this in a neutral environment. These are very important options that you might want to explore when making your design choices, and when you're thinking about the context in which you want to use your font. Jumping back to Illustrator, I'm gonna continue the grid using the average height as an example. So what you want to do is create another rectangle with the X height that you want, and again for the width, use the width of the artboard. Now select both rectangles and click on the rectangle for cap height. This way you will align to the key object, in our case the cap height rectangle. Next, just align horizontally to the center and vertically to the bottom. This way you will match the baseline. While you have both rectangles selected, just click Ctrl 5 on your keyboard and this will convert them into guides. Again, feel free to experiment with different heights and see how that affects your design.